106 miles to Chicago.
Welcome to Costco.
We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
Say hello to my little friend.
Ever dance with the devil in the bedroom?
I'll buy that for $1.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
Get to the shovel! There's no flying in baseball!
And I'm all out of bubblegum.
To infinity and beyond!
I wish I knew how to quit these dead people.
Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe fuck yourself.
It should be Riddick. Escape convict.
There's Johnny!
Murder.
You tell him I'm coming! And hell's coming with me, you hear? Hell's coming with me!
Why so serious?
Don't you like clowns?
Bleed my own blood.
But the English language had deteriorated into a hybrid of hillbilly, valley girl, inner city slang, and various grunts.
Winners go home and fuck the prom queen.
There we go. Now you can say it. I was setting up the recording.
Fucking damn it.
I was shaking my head no the whole time.
What the hell?
Fuck it. Welcome to season 2, bitches.
Welcome to pop culture.
Welcome to pop
culture.
Welcome to Joe Rogan podcast.
Welcome to the Thunderdome.
The Joe Rogan experience.
100 more seasons.
Season 2.
Season
2 more
2.
seasons.
99 more seasons, Marty.
99 more seasons of pop culture kicks. This is season 2 of Pop Culture Kicks. I'm Mark.
I'm Keith.
And that would only leave one more person.
The most retarded of all.
Dickzilla.
And we already got our first demonetization and hate comment for.
Well, no, that wasn't within 8 seconds of the beginning of the recording.
Keith using the R word already.
You can't the hard R. You can't. Yeah, like it's like something you can't like curse within like the first 8 seconds of the YouTube video or something like that. And then of course, you know, if you're dropping like F-bombs like every other.
Well,
minute,
fuck yeah,
like,
we're fucking past the first fucking 8 seconds.
So speaking of Rick and Morty, let's start it off with some news here. Well, okay, so Adult Swim, obviously, due to some of the allegations that Justin Roiland's ex-girlfriend filed against him, what was it, like domestic abuse, and there was another charge that they're charging him with, some like fraudulent imprisonment or something like that.
Yeah, there was 2 of them in there.
Yeah, there's a couple of them. Adult Swim dropped Justin Roiland recently.
If you don't know, is the voice of Rick and Morty.
He's the voice of Rick and Morty, and he was one of the executive producers, one of the showrunners of Rick and Morty and Solar Opposites, and he's also voiced a lot of he voiced a lot of characters in that game, High on Life.
I was gonna say he was part of High on Life too. It was like
so he actually resigned.
Or something.
Yeah, Squanch Games. So he resigned from Squanch Games and he was dropped from Adult Swim. But Adult Swim says that Rick and Morty is going to continue on. They're going to recast voice actors for that. And they're working on season 7. And Dan Harmon will be the only 99 more episodes. Morty.
Well, they
100
signed
more seasons.
Wasn't it like a 99 episode or something order, or 90 episode order?
Yeah, it was like basically it got them up to the 100 episodes that they needed in order to get like a second run syndication.
Yeah.
That they ordered. So I mean, obviously, you know, Adult Swim's already paid for them, so obviously they want to get their money's worth. So they're gonna, you know, recast.
It's crazy how long it takes to get those episodes out, like. Because that show was like so popular and the peak interest was there, and it took like 2 years to get the next season. And I'm like, come on.
Well, that was and there was there was extenuating circumstances of why that took so long.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's not going to be taking that long from here on out. And, they're going to have a regular, season interval run because they do have enough writing staff now. Dan Harmon is still going to be the showrunner now instead of partnering up with Justin Roiland. Justin Roiland, from what they said, a lot of the people that were on the crew, like on the writing staff, said that Justin Roiland really didn't have a whole lot of much to do with the show creatively, other than doing the voices and all that stuff. He didn't really have much to do with it in the past few seasons.
Yeah, I saw some behind the scenes stuff of him doing the voices, and like he legitimately like gets blitzed drunk when he's doing a lot of that shit.
But yeah, it was like during like season 1, so he could get those like. You'll notice now that Rick doesn't burp as often.
Yeah.
That was during like season 1 when he was trying to get all the burps and all that stuff out for dialogue and stuff. He would be drinking, getting drunk, and all that.
I was watching the videos of him in like the booth, just like shit drunk, taking shots, recording, and doing different jokes over and over again and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So Justin Roiland out. As far as Adult Swim and Squanch Games is concerned, and he may end up going to jail for a while.
So, HBO owns Comedy Central and Cartoon Network and all that, right? That's a Warner Discovery thing.
I don't remember, not off the top of my head.
I'm pretty sure that falls.
Nick, your volume's pretty low.
Is it?
Well, yeah.
Is it low?
Are you doing it through the headset, or are you doing it through your microphone? You may need to get closer to the mic then.
You may need to get closer to the mic then.
Hold on, let me check my shit, because I moved my...
Check your shit, boy.
Maybe put a headphone alert on this one.
Hold on, people! Hold on!
Trigger warning, loud noises, and people talking too close to the microphone.
Is that better?
Yeah, it's a bit better.
Better? Here, all right, let me turn the gain up more. How about now? Is that better?
My eyes!
My color blue.
My earballs.
Listen, do you smell something? So yeah, HBO, Warner Brother, Discovery, all them. Have you guys seen the stuff for that new Velma episode series?
Yeah.
Oh,
everybody's been talking about it online.
I watched the first episode to check it out, and I had to force myself to continue to keep watching the first episode. It was bad. I mean, the animation was cool. I was like, hell yeah, like an adult, Scooby-Doo. They're making fun of, stuff like that. But man, I don't know if they hired the most keyboard warriors, fucking social justice fucking person ever to write this show. But they had like every stereotype of like social justice thing, like stuff in this fucking thing. Like,
yeah,
like
the
hard.
The showrunner is Mindy Kaling. She's like the main, like one that's like running the show. So
it was bad. It's fucking.
And then
bad.
the Velma character, she also voices the Velma character in the show. So the Velma character is kind of an avatar for her.
Yeah.
So you can.
It's bad.
You can very clearly, you know where it's coming from. I have never really been much of a fan of Mindy Kaling's work.
I don't like her voice.
I didn't like her. I didn't like her in The Office. Like, I didn't like her character. Honestly, it really doesn't even seem like she's acting. Yeah. I mean, it's just her playing her.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I just never been much of a fan.
Yeah, it was bad. I mean, it had. I don't. The amount of times they mention like. They make Fred into like the rich white boy that gets away with everything because he's rich and white. you know, they made Shaggy a black guy that is not a token black guy.
Yeah.
Velma, I believe, was Asian in the show.
Yes, Indian.
Indian,
I mean,
yeah.
So they again, Mindy came out.
So they had to hit bases on everything, right?
It literally checked.
Checking all the boxes.
It literally checked every box and it went hard on all those boxes. And it, like I said,
Yeah.
I had to force myself to get through it. And like Daphne, I think, was Asian too.
Yeah.
And like a lesbian.
Well, a lot of the criticisms isn't even about like the race swapping or
but it's
or anything like that. It's most of it is just the writing just being fucking terrible.
It's the fact
it's not funny.
No, it's the fact that they leaned heavily into a lot of those stereotypes, and if they were trying to make fun of all of the social justice and shit like that, they did a very bad job of doing that.
No, I don't think they're trying to make fun of it at all.
It's very woke
because they're not punching down in the show. They're punching up, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of criticism has been around the joke about Fred having a small penis.
Yeah, his baby penis. Yeah.
Right. So like, you know, they're making fun of the white guy. The white straight dudes. They're punching up, right? They're not making, I mean, they may, like I haven't seen the show, but I've seen a few people's reactions to it, on YouTube that have been talking about it. Everybody's been talking about it. They've watched a few episodes so that you don't have to, and, have given their honest criticism. And like I said, the criticism is not about race swapping or any of that stuff, because that's all fine. It's all well and good. It's fine if Velma is an Indian character. The problem is if since she's the protagonist of the show, she needs to be the most liked and most relatable character, and a lot of people have been saying that she's not. She's just an asshole.
Yeah, they all are. Like, it was tough to connect to any of them or find things. Like I said, it's bad. Like, how it got approved, like, I have no idea, or if it got approved in like the height of like the woke wave that came through, and it just took that long to animate, because the animation is gorgeous. Like, it looks good.
That's one of the other things that a lot of people have been saying about it, is the animation is great. The art style is great. They do a lot of interesting stuff with the visuals, but it's just everything else is trash.
Yeah, that's true. It's bad. I am gonna vote with my eyeballs for this show and not give them any more of my time. I couldn't go back for another episode. Like, there's a few of them on there, I think, now, and I'm like, I don't even care if it gets better. It's just that bad. I can't do it.
Oh, by the way, Viacom owns Comedy Central, so that's under the Paramount.
Okay, Paramount.
Yeah, because Paramount owns, or Viacom owns Paramount, Comedy Central, Nickelodeon, MTV, BET, VH1.
Gotcha. Okay. And then you've got...
So, how about Last of Us?
Oh, man. Who's with me about...
Awful.
Fighting cordyceps.
Worst show ever.
Let's go to the grocery store and burn every mushroom out there.
Worst show ever.
Destroy all the fungus. Destroy all the fungus.
Hey, you remember that Incubus album, Fungus Among Us? Yeah, let's burn them. Actually, Incubus was just here in Corpus the other night. Kind of wish that I would have gone and seen them, but we didn't.
Well, oh man, I like that. The idea of the fungus and all that stuff. Like, what's crazy is that shit is like out there right now, right? Like that fungus that creates the zombie.
Yeah, the cordyceps. There are different species of cordyceps, and each species targets a specific species of bug, Because there's some that target beetles, there's some that target the ants. There's a bunch of different types of the cordyceps. The only thing is it's a huge leap going from invertebrates to mammals that the cordyceps fungi would have to mutate quite a bit. So it's kind of, I mean, it's within the realm of possibility, but it's very, very small possibility.
It's where you could have,
but it's a good premise because it is possible, even if it's highly improbable.
Well, and it goes to show at the beginning of the second episode, they talk about where it was, right? The first outbreak was in that flour grain mill that was like one of the 3 largest in the world. So they spread that shit all throughout the world.
Yeah.
Everyone's eating this stuff.
Well, that was
daily, the consumerism of it, and then it
builds
up.
Wasn't that one of the things that caused some of the issues around the Salem witch trials was grains being infected by fungi that would essentially had some hallucinogenic properties.
Yeah, they eat moldy bread.
yeah, exactly. There's certain molds, certain fungi will have different effects on people's psychology and physiology. Just like cordyceps. I don't even think that was cordyceps. That was like a different type of fungi.
Yeah, they were eating bread made out of the stuff that had the magic shrooms growing with the cows out in the field and shit.
Yeah, so everybody's like, hi, Jen.
Jen, everyone says hi. They see you right there.
Wave at us.
Wave. They want you to wave.
Wave at us.
Jen, wave. Just wave.
Wave at us.
Wave. Wow.
She said, "Fuck off."
Fuck them bitches. So within the realm of possibilities, which is a good premise to a worldwide outbreak. But yeah, The Last of Us, terrible show. Just awful.
So
I tell you what,
I had
go ahead.
No idea what Last of Us was. Right? Never played the game, nothing. But that first episode, man, that got me hooked. That was badass.
Well, it's one of the very few good video game adaptations.
PlayStation games.
Hi, Jen.
Hi, Jen.
They're all waving at you again.
Hi, Jen. Bye, Jen.
She's playing with the dogs out back. She just got back yesterday.
I never played the game either. Shelby played the game. It's actually her favorite game of all time.
Yeah, I saw her streaming it.
It's Jess's too.
It comes out on PC in March, so I'll probably play it then.
Word.
But this goes to show good video game adaptations, like they can be done right. Granted, it's Sony, and Sony's kind of in the business of making movies and TV shows. So they have that one positive to them. But the fact that they use some of the actors in the show are the same that do the voice and mocap acting in the video game, so they brought them back to raise their roles.
Also, fans of The Last of Us are in the show too. They actually picked fans of the game to be some of the zombies.
Yeah, it's legit, man. I look forward to every Sunday to watching it now. This, and then once this is done, we still have another year until Game of Thrones comes back, so we'll have to figure another show. But yeah, all video games, all these things that are in production and all that, they need to take a look at this and realize, oh shit, we can make a video game show and make it good.
Yeah. And it was season 1 is supposed to be 12 episodes, right? It's a dozen episodes.
Let's just say recipes Andy Wershing tests from the game.
Oh yeah,
and the show.
Well,
she had cancer.
Yeah,
throughout,
so. She passed away
which actually in this last episode, they did at the beginning of the episode they had in memory of her.
Well,
for that.
And did you notice? So in the first episode, Joe, whatever,
We'll call him Josephus.
Yeah. He doesn't eat the cake. He doesn't eat pancakes. He eats like an egg or something, and that's it.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
They said
he doesn't want to get exposed to it. You know.
Well, he didn't. He didn't know.
They didn't know.
He just didn't eat it.
But
this is the first episode
before the outbreak.
And in the girl
first episode, they were missing the pancake mix.
Yeah, they didn't have any of that.
And he just
stuff.
said, "We'll have eggs or whatever."
Yeah.
And then his
he
daughter
forgot the cake.
Yep.
On the way home
forgot
from work.
the cake.
Right.
His daughter went next door. She was making cookies. She didn't eat a cookie. Went back home. So yeah, little hints are dropped.
Didn't have the biscuits that were offered either.
Yeah, little details there.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, and I like the way that the city, because we're 20 years later, so nature's reclaiming the city back, and you're seeing all the stuff break down, the hotel lobby filling with water because there's no one there to maintain maintenance and stuff. And I mean, and those sces are taken straight from the video game.
No, the set pieces were amazing. Like all the set design.
Yeah.
The visuals, the cinematography in that show is great.
The cinematography is amazing.
I didn't play the game, but Shelby's like telling me, "Oh, that didn't happen in the game. This is something that's new to the show."
Well, like
Jess was saying, some of the wide shots of the city and stuff like that. Those scenes were taken directly from the game.
Yeah, you can see shot by shot stuff, but some of the differences being like when they come running out of the museum, when the infected are chasing them, and she detonates the grenades.
Yeah.
That didn't happen in the game. It was the military coming after them.
Yeah, exactly.
Fedra or whatever. So
Fedra, yeah. And then like the airplane crash in the show, like that's not what fucked up their truck. It was that Bronco that like T-boned them. But and those little changes and stuff, obviously, they make sense, for the show.
What are you talking about? Plane that fucked up the truck.
When it crashed in the town and the pieces.
Well, remember when that Bronco like narrowly misses the pickup that they're in? In the game, that's actually what stops the truck.
And this is sounding like spoilers, man, because I don't know what you're talking about.
First episode when they're running.
First episode. It was in the beginning of the first episode.
Okay.
Yeah, when they're
I'm thinking of
like just minor details, like when the plane
I'm thinking
crashes.
of the last episode.
Oh no. I mean, they had that one plane wreckage that they were looking at. Out
yeah,
there, but
I will say that did not look like Austin at all. I mean, you got the only place that I think it could look like is the toll road, because it's kind of flat, but where all the cars are stacked up on the highway.
Yeah.
Other than that, that's not Austin at all.
20 years ago, and that they were in a neighborhood. They're on the outskirts.
Yeah, I mean,
they're not downtown.
Yeah,
no, when they were trying to
escape. Neighborhoods are going to look the same.
Yeah, they still weren't downtown though.
There was some actual on location shooting done in Austin.
Yeah, it's just not the main parts that you probably are used to there. So yeah, I definitely recommend that. It's a fucking awesome show. All right, let's keep moving here because
next episode tonight.
Yes, it is.
Tonight. Boys.
I'll save this for next week. We'll do a trailers thing because there's been a shitload of trailers that have come out in the last month. So we'll save trailers for next time. Let's see. Avatar.
I gotta go wake Jess up real quick.
Okay. Avatar: Way of the Water was made about $2 billion. Isn't that crazy? He was like, yeah, it's gonna make $2 billion, and everyone's like, you're out of your fucking mind. But it made it's already up to just about $2 billion worldwide.
Yeah, I mean that's no surprise. Look at how much the first one made.
Yeah, well, and they're smart. They drop it in December. No other movies come out for a month and a half to 2 months. I mean, Ant-Man's the next big movie, right? Which is coming out later this month. Before that, nothing. So all you got is Avatar and then all these small movies. So smart.
Yeah, so as of hold on. Yeah, it's made 2.1 billion so far worldwide. Domestically, 627, almost 628 million. 1.5 billion worldwide.
Yeah, that ain't nothing to shake a leg at,
Or,
man.
no, sorry, not worldwide, but the international is 1.5 billion. So it's 2.1 billion worldwide gross.
So, you know, looking at what they spent, they used
As of Friday, so that doesn't include yesterday.
Okay, so this movie is the one that holds the highest cost for them because they developed the technology for the next like 4 movies and all of that. All of that cost is in this movie.
Yeah, exactly. So
now that it's already
gone out, it's straight up money.
They're just making money because they've already filmed most of it of all the other scenes for the other movies. They filmed it. All they're doing now is going in and doing the animation process.
Marketing and advertising will take up a little bit of money for obviously the next few movies and everything. But yeah, I mean, after they pay off the marketing and advertising, they're just printing money.
Well, yeah, because now they can say, okay, hey, you know, Avatar 3's got a budget of, you know,
$5. Well, no,
50 million for cost of animation and marketing or something, right?
Yeah.
And it, you know, or 100 million, and then they know they're going to break that shit the first weekend. So
yeah,
because like I said, all the operating cost was in this one. So
well, the first the first weekend they made 134 million.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know, if they do a running budget for the next movie of 50 million or something like that, like you're gonna think, you know, they're gonna be making, you know, about 3 times that in the opening weekend, and then just you know, then from there just skyrockets.
Yeah, I mean, just keep the animators got the job for the next 6 years. You know, all they're doing is just gonna be animating these movies, and now that you know, hopefully this one.
A lot of money. I mean, the CGI is a lot of money. That's a huge part of their production budget.
Yes, but it, you know, as technology gets better and better and time moves on, that can come down more and more because it used to be super
on for the bells tolls.
It used to be ridiculous expensive. It was something like, you remember when Transformers 1 came out? They said something, it took like a week to animate 1 second or something of that whole thing, rendering the whole thing of film frame by frame by frame. Like, and now, you know, you got to imagine Cameron's, you know, that's his next task. He's like, all right, we got the technology, we got everything filmed, we got everything going. Now let's improve how to make this even faster. So, I mean, it's crazy. Anyway.
All right.
Yep.
Moving on.
90s
show?
Haven't watched it.
Don't. It's freaking horrible.
I mean, I figured it would be not as good. There'd be some cringe in there, but I just wanted...
It's all cringe.
All I saw was it was... what's his face's kid? Kelso. His kid showed up and was talking, and then Kelso showed up, and Red was like, oh, no. No. Yeah. Like, that was the only scene I saw.
Well, I mean, and a big part of what made that 70s show funny was Danny Masterson. Yeah. His character Hyde, and obviously he's going through all those legal stuff for, you know...
I thought he was...
Me Too shit.
I thought he was done, like, acquitted of that.
No,
it's still going?
He's still ongoing.
Okay. Well, I mean, Ashton Kutcher's the one that, like, had him fired off of the ranch show when that stuff happened. So
yeah,
those two ain't gonna work together again.
Yeah, they don't even mention him.
No. Hey, did you see Antoine Fuqua's working on that Michael Jackson biopic?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, and it's being written by the guy who wrote Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, I'm just gonna kind of rapid fire some of these things so we can get to DC.
DC these nuts.
Oh, you like
got him.
You like Dragon Ball? Yeah. You like me dragging these balls on your face? New Tron movie coming finally. Fuck, the first Tron movie was in like 1984 or 87 or some shit. Then it took them like 25, 30 years to come out with another one.
Yeah. Which is pretty good. I liked it.
Tron Legacy, which is fucking awesome. It's crazy that it's taking another like 15 years to get another Tron, but this one's gonna have Jared Leto, the unaging man.
Well, it's really not a surprise because
they're doing it based on technology jumps.
Tron Legacy didn't do that well.
I thought it did very well.
I thought it did too.
I thought it did. I mean, Tron Legacy merchandise today, when they drop it and stuff, still coming out, sells out and goes crazy. They opened up those new Tron rides at Disney.
No, see so domestic, so budget was 170 million, and their domestic return was 172 million.
Okay, what did it make worldwide? Because I think
worldwide doesn't matter. Worldwide, when it comes to how well a movie does at box office, it's domestic, and it has to make twice its domestic. It has to make twice its budget in domestic market in order for it to be considered successful.
Yeah, well, I mean, it did come out like 30 years after the original.
But I mean, worldwide it made like 400 million, but in the United States it just wasn't that popular.
Yeah.
So it didn't do that well, so, and the domestic opening was only like 44 million.
Gotcha.
So
yeah,
it didn't perform that great by the numbers. I mean, I liked it. It was a good movie.
Oh yeah, I liked it. Jared Leto's in it, in the new one.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's a great actor. I'll leave it at that.
I have a feel, yeah. I think he's a great actor too. I am super bummed that I know he was with the final cut that we got of Morbius. Like, that was a pretty bad cut of the movie.
Yeah, I mean, it was all right. Morbius was okay. I watched it. It was fine.
Yeah, I wish it would have been better. I tell you what, I did watch Wakanda Forever. I watched that the other day. It's on Disney Plus now. Disney Plus. For one, it was hard to see shit because the movie's so damn dark. Like, if you're not in a dark movie theater to watch that, like, with any kind of ambient light, oh my god, was it hard to see some of that shit.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a good movie, man. I really, really, really was excited for Namor. And I felt like the movie had everything and nothing at the same time, if that makes sense. Like, it had no story, but too much story. Like, they're like, okay, we got this, all these cool stories.
Well,
but nothing was fleshed out.
Now that's the Marvel formula. It's just like, throw everything in the movie.
It just...
And don't make it about anything.
Yeah, exactly. Like, by the time I was done with it, I was like, what did we accomplish besides for just showing now that there's, like, Namor and his blue fish people? Like, the shit was cool. Like, he was cool. Like, man, he was badass. Like, legit. Like, coming in just fucking shit up. Like, it was cool. And he mentions he's a mutant, right? And I was like, oh, yeah, like that was...
I am mutant.
Yeah, and it just... But where did they get? What did they accomplish? The whole movie starts out with, French special forces, like, trying to steal vibranium. The world wants vibranium. And then they find out that there's vibranium in the bottom of the ocean. Well, that vibranium that's down there, in this special place, had, like, seaweed growing out of it, and that's their version of the heart-shaped herb that made Namor's people into his. And he's, like, 500 or 600 years old. Like, they don't age very long, or they age very slowly. He, in general, does. Like, his mom got old and, like, died, but, like, he isn't aging. And he,
Does mom have that mermaid ussy?
Well, they're not. They don't have they don't have fishtails. So
they're mermaids. They're fucking mermaids. Whether they have fishtails or not, they're mermaids.
So they were up. It's
merman.
It's another story of like colonization, right? They were they were the Aztec people, like that. That was up there. The white people came and
gross white people.
They found this this one guy that could dive down, and hold his breath for like an hour to go get this herb because it was like way the fuck down there. Yeah. And he comes back up and they make a potion for it. Everyone drinks it, except Namor's mom, who was pregnant at the time because she didn't want it to affect the baby. And so they finally convince her to drink it. They all pass out, right, from this herb. Wake up and they're like blue because they're not getting the oxygen from the water. They're getting
and now it's Avatar.
They're like fish. They're like drying out. So then they all run to the water and they're going there to escape the colonization of the people, right?
Okay, yeah.
So that's what they're doing. Is they're like, we're gonna go find a new land. Instead of finding an island, they find a magic herb to eat so they can go live underwater.
And then they're like, kill all the white men.
So then So then they come back after his mom dies to like bury her in their ancestral like land, and it's full of like just like the white French, or British. Yeah, I think they're French colonizers. They built buildings and all this stuff, and Namor they went on a killing spree and killed them all, burned the village and shit, and then went back to the water. And now he's like, they call me Namor, which means no. It's no.
Mr. Nimbus.
He gets his name from no love, like no amor, right?
Oh,
and
gotcha.
So that's where where they make his name come from is Namor, no love,
hate.
But like that part of the movie was cool, and then I didn't give a shit about the rest. Like it didn't it literally felt like it went nowhere. It was bad. Like the first movie, which I didn't like because I felt was poorly.
I liked the first movie. I mean, it wasn't great. It was good.
I went back and watched it. I'm like, all right, cool. I get there's parts of it that were really good. I liked Killmonger, right? Like I thought he was the coolest part of it.
Killmonger was the best character.
And then you had that family story and all this stuff, right?
Killmonger is true Black Panther.
Yeah. And so I don't know. I didn't like it, man. I felt like they could have done much better, and I don't know why they didn't just recast Black Panther. Like they have to have Black Panther in the stories. Like I don't know. Anyway, moving on. We got there from Jared Leto and Tron, so I don't know how we digressed to that, but Violent Night's getting a sequel.
Yeah.
Yes.
I still haven't watched it, so I don't know if it's any good.
Oh, sir, it's good.
It's pretty good. So I just found out, I don't know if this is brought up or not, Netflix is making a Gears of War movie.
Yeah, we talked about.
Yeah, well, Netflix is losing shit tons of money, and they're fucking canceling a lot of their shows and shit. So.
Oh man, their
password policy that they just came out with is going to lose them a lot of subscriptions,
a lot of viewers. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
We talked about Gears of War a couple months ago. It was on one of the ones where you forgot that we had an episode.
Yeah.
Hey, what?
It was one of the me and Nick episodes.
Where
you were all like at work or something, trying to make money or some dumb shit.
Yeah, it's probably on one where you were either doing OT or you just forgot. Matthew Lillard starring in Five Nights at Freddy's movies.
I didn't even know they were making a movie.
Blumhouse and Universal is making a Five Nights at Freddy's, and Matthew Lillard's going to be in it. He signed on for a 3-picture deal. Doesn't mean they're making 3, but it's just he's locked in for 3 if they do.
Yeah,
that ought to be pretty cool, pretty interesting. I like the Nicolas Cage one. Willy's Wonderland or whatever. I don't know if you guys watched that.
No, I didn't.
He doesn't say anything in the whole movie. No dialogue.
Oh.
Well. It's mostly just Pretty good.
They don't want to pay him for
Oh, dude, it was Nicolas Cage. It was he literally would like drink the, he was hired there to like clean up this like Willy Wonka, fucking Chuck E. Cheese place. But it's like this like satanic cult or some shit. There's some crazy backstory. Anyway, fucking good. Go watch Willy's Wonderland. All right, let's talk about this DC stuff that's coming. Well, actually, do you guys have anything else before we get into DC?
Yeah, I was just going to give an update on the Alec Baldwin shooting situation thing, because I know we hadn't talked about it since like December, but so 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter were filed like around the end of January against Alec Baldwin and the armorer that was hired on set about the killing, about the shooting. So they're gonna go forward with that.
Good. Fucking be responsible. Like, I watched a video on YouTube of this guy using the exact same gun, and he spent like half an hour trying to recreate what Alec Baldwin said. And I was like, and you can't really, it's tough to do because you don't know how the other gun was maintained and stuff.
True. Yeah.
But, you know, if the gun was maintained, he was trying to recreate it, and he's like, he couldn't do it.
Well, the FBI had already said that
it wouldn't go off.
It would not fire without a trigger pull. So Alec Baldwin did pull the trigger.
Which is what this guy was doing. I mean, he was like slamming it, bashing it. Like, he was doing what he could to get this gun to fire. And no, it probably had a really, really light trigger, right, that you barely touch. They probably had it set up so that when they're filming the movie, they don't have to do an 8-pound trigger pull or whatever, 6-pound, whatever.
Kind of like my paintball gun. You remember that?
Yeah, you fucking fart in its direction. It's like, yeah, you shot yourself in the face.
Shot myself in the face when I was setting the gun down.
The interesting part, though, is the conviction is punishable by up to 18 months in jail and up to a $5,000 fine. Now, there are some lawsuits that have been filed, so obviously, you know, they're going to be fighting criminal and civil cases.
Yeah.
In this instance, but the only criminal charges that have been brought up is the 2 counts of involuntary against each one of the people. So they're only going to be, they're only sentenced to 1 count per person.
Yeah.
Obviously, because 1 person died.
Yep.
But yeah, so that's the update on the Alec Baldwin Rust shooting.
I mean, just be responsible, man. It's a fucking gun.
Rightfully charged.
And also, Marilyn Manson, a lot of the lawsuits, like most of the lawsuits, have been dropped as far as sexual assault allegations. But there are still a couple that will go forward that are pending. One being this new allegation of a lady who claims that he sexually assaulted her when she was 16 on a tour bus.
Yeah.
Well,
that's like Steven Tyler, right? They have that one that the girl said she was like 16 or underage, and back in like the 70s.
And these are lawsuits, so these are civil claims.
Yeah.
So, like, as far as criminal charges, obviously, with time and the lack of evidence, and, you know, even if there was evidence, over time, evidence degrades and all that stuff, so... he's being held civilly liable for these things, but not criminally.
Yeah, I saw he was talking about it. I saw he made a comment somewhere.
There were, like, several cases that were dismissed.
Yeah.
Like, just outright.
Yeah, it becomes very tough when, you know, the burden of proof is on the person who's making the accusations, and it happened, you know,
20 years
ago. It's like, how are you going to...
Yeah, it's like unless you have, like, video evidence or, you know, recording, or obviously no physical evidence. Physical evidence is going to degrade after, that many years anyway.
Exactly. I mean, you're 16. What are you doing on a tour bus of a rock star? Especially one as crazy as that.
Right. Yeah. So that's the other thing. The other side of that coin is, when fans are going backstage to meet these people, who is vetting them, right? Who's checking ID? Who's doing what? Because I mean, like I had said on a previous podcast when we were talking about the Steven Tyler thing, Steven Tyler's not. I mean, Steven Tyler's gonna hook up with like a random groupie or something like that. He's not checking ID.
Yeah.
He's not.
The person who let that groupie through the back door should have been checking that ID like they do at clubs.
Right. Their security, their bouncers and stuff like that should, be like, okay, not like that. It should be a little bit more. What's the word? Like, it should be a little more planned out better when it comes to the backstage activities, right? Like, you have all the teenagers and all that stuff that go back there and they want to get, autographs and stuff like that, or
railed,
or getting butt fucked.
Get the train,
but so don't get pregnant. But I mean, you gotta kind of, this has to have a little bit more structure, and then then the rock stars can go off and have their fucking parties and orgies and all that crap, whatever they want to do after they get done performing.
You're gonna have like, Nikki Sixx or fucking not Nikki Sixx, but like Tommy Lee, like having to take a selfie with a driver's license with the girl next to it every time, like proof, like.
Before he just fucking rips her fucking guts out with his huge ass hog.
Yeah. I mean, if it happened, shame on him, that's not cool. But it, again, like you said, they're drunk.
Keith, you've never looked better.
They're drunk, they're stoned, they just got off stage. That's the last thing they're looking at is expecting that their manager just let a 16-year-old girl walk onto their bus.
Yeah, they're not in the mindset to be making decisions.
No.
They're fucking tired, they're high, they're drunk. Yeah.
All right.
And I mean,
Well,
it doesn't excuse,
no,
right? I'm not making excuses for the actions that they take, but they're not, and they were young back then too. Like they're young, dumb, and full of cum.
Yeah. It doesn't excuse the action, but it, there should be others involved with that.
Yeah.
Anyone else got anything else before we jump in? We got about 15 minutes.
Before we do the DC stuff, did you guys watch the Xbox showcase?
I did.
The Microsoft showcase.
Actually, I've been playing that music game.
That first game.
What the fuck was it called?
I don't even remember what it was called.
I just lost it.
Redfall was the only one that I was really interested in as far as what they showed in the showcase.
What the hell was it called?
I didn't see the Bethesda one. I don't know if the Bethesda one's been done yet, but I didn't see that one.
I haven't seen the Starfield one yet. I don't think it's out. I didn't see any notifications about it. I can't think of the name of that game. Damn it.
Which one?
Yeah.
Oh, here it is. Hi-Fi Rush.
Right.
That one, that's a fun game, man. You're fighting people, and as you do the buttons and all that, on screen it goes to the music, and it's got like 9 Inch Nails and all these other bands in there and shit. It's pretty cool.
Gotta make Trent Reznor more money.
Is that on Game Pass?
It is. Yeah, you can just stream it straight to your Xbox.
Yeah, it's out now. That was the one that they announced. That was like the first one in the showcase, and they're like, and oh, by the way, you ain't gotta wait. It'll be available at the end of the showcase.
Yep. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I've been playing it.
The one that I was really interested in that looked really interesting to me was Redfall.
Oh, dude, the vampire game.
We talked about that one. I know we've talked about that one last year. But Redfall looks really fun.
Yeah,
Vampires. And shit.
Yeah.
Vampires. So that comes out May 2nd this year.
Well, the big one that Jen's pretty damn excited for, and I'm kind of excited to hop into, is the Harry Potter game coming in 2 days.
Yeah, I'm gonna get just the game.
Hogwarts Legacy. Like it's gonna be legit. Too legit.
Yeah.
To quit.
I don't know.
It takes place like 100 years before the Harry Potter stuff, right? It takes place during the Goblin Rebellion.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna play that one because that one seems like that's gonna be like really time intensive.
It'll be a big RPG. Yeah.
Yeah, because isn't that like an MMORPG?
No.
Like I know it's an open world.
Yeah, it's more like a Cyberpunk and others, just a big, big story driven. All right, so let's get in. Oh, one more show. Mythic Quest. Have you guys heard of it?
Mythic Quest.
I've
heard of it.
Charlie Day. Oh man, I burned through all 3 seasons this last week. It was freaking great. It's about
what's it on?
Apple. It's on Apple TV Plus. It is a show about a game developer that they make this giant game. It's almost like a World of Warcraft style game. I don't know if I sent you guys the clip or not. Did I? Of the puking and shitting out blood?
Yes.
Blood Tide. Yeah. That's from that show. It's hilarious, man. It's just about all the hijinks and shit that goes on behind the scenes of a major company, and Charlie Day is pretty fucking funny. So
yeah, he's one of the showrunners, right?
Yeah, and he stars in it, so it's pretty awesome.
Is he?
I think that's his name. Isn't that him?
Yeah, I don't see him in the cast. I just see him as a show creator.
No, god damn it, I got his name wrong. Yes, Charlie Day is that. It's god damn it, what's that guy's name?
Oh, Rob McKinley.
Yeah. I keep calling him fucking Charlie. They're both on Philadelphia. It's Always Sunny.
They're both on Philadelphia, the movie where Tom Hanks dies of AIDS. It's like they were both in It's Always Sunny.
Yes. Yeah, that dude, Rob McElhenney or whatever, freaking hilarious. It's almost like his character like moved over to this show. All right, so DC stuff. So we have a date for Matt Reeves' The Batman Part 2. Part 2.
I haven't seen the first one, so I don't know.
October 3rd, 2025.
Man,
okay. Well, 2 more years.
We gotta wait 2.5 years for that shit.
Yeah.
Fuck that, too long.
It takes him a while, Matt Reeves. I think he's working on a different project, so as well. So that's probably why. So yeah, James Gunn and Peter Safran dropped their plan on January 31st for the first half of what they call Chapter 1, Gods and Monsters.
All right, well, let's talk about Chapter 1.
All right, so first thing what they said is that anything that is not part of the DCU will have a DC Elseworld logo at the beginning. So you know how it pops up and it does, how Marvel has their little splash, DC has theirs. Theirs will say DC Elseworld, which means that it's not part of the main canon. But this is how they can have multiple Batman, multiple characters telling different stories. Which Matt Reeves, the Batman, will be in Elseworld. What's the other one?
It'd be cool if they did.
Big smart move. Big smart move that they're doing is keeping Viola Davis on as Amanda Waller.
Yes, so that was going to be part of it. So
huge fucking move.
Yeah, so that's part of the Peacekeeper part. So Peacekeeper 2 is on hold for right now because Gunn's pretty fucking busy. So they have multiple things.
He's doing a lot of writing too. He's not just He's not just
This fucker's been doing nothing but writing.
Yeah, he's not just co-executing with Peter Safran. He's going to be doing a lot of writing on this because he's going to be writing the Green Lantern buddy cop series, right?
Yep. So the first thing they announced was Creature Commandos. It's an animated show for HBO Max. Now, one of the things that he said was the voice actors that are in the animated movies will also be the actors playing them in live action. So he said you may have like Superman going from a live action movie to an animated movie. It's going to be the same Superman.
Actor.
You know, because right now DC's like killing it with all their animated movies. They make,
they have been. Yeah,
they've been doing that for 20 years. They've been kicking everyone's ass at those. Now you'll have those will be DC Elseworld, or they'll be canon and have the same actors that are in the movies, which is cool. He's like, we're connecting everything. It's all being connected.
Right.
And I heard what you were saying, Keith, about Spider-Verse. So
that's not DC, Keith.
I know.
Should know that.
They have Crisis on Infinite Earths is their version, but so the 4 movies that are coming out right now that they're part of the DCEU are some of them are going to transition in. So you have Shazam 2, which they haven't said is transitioning into DCU or not, but it might. You have Aquaman 2, which is going to transition in to DCU. So it looks like Momoa is going to continue. They have plans for him to continue Aquaman, and they're just going to move him from the Snyder version to the Gunn version. So which means you'll probably get a little bit lighter hearted, you know.
Does that mean he's not going to be Lobo?
Correct. I don't think he's going to be Lobo. I think...
So I still got a chance.
Yeah.
So you're saying there's a chance.
You have Blue Beetle, which is already done and going to be coming out. That is also going to transition over to DCU. And then you have The Flash, Ezra Miller's The Flash, which James Gunn and Peter Safran both said is a masterpiece. Like everyone keeps talking about how good this movie is. Critics, people that have actually done test screenings for it, like all of them have said how good this is. That movie is going to be the catalyst and the reset. So apparently at the end of that movie is where we're going to transition from Snyder to Gunn. Yep, DCEU to DCU. So yeah, Creature Commandos. He's already written the entire season. Like James Gunn has been a writing machine. If you don't know, like James Gunn's been in done some big fucking movies. He wrote Dawn of the Dead remake for Zack Snyder. You know, the Scooby-Doo movies, Slither. He's a Trauma guy, right? He's been all over and written shit for so many things. He's a writer. Then you have Waller, like you said, with Viola Davis, which is genius, right? She's so fucking good.
Yeah, she's fucking great, man. You can't recast her.
No, dude, she's so fucking good. Even in Ender's Game, man, which I was bummed. I was bummed that movie wasn't as good, but like her character, like the heart that she has, the sincerity that she has for the kids when Harrison Ford's like, no, he can't have any help. Like you can see the pain on her face. She's fucking rock star, man.
Yeah, she's brilliant.
And then the beginning in the first part of the DCU that they're coming out with is, hold on, fucking OneDrive popping up here. Superman Legacy. Coming out.
James Gunn said he's writing and directing Superman Legacy.
Coming out July 11th, 2025.
Yeah.
I don't know if is he directing that too? I know he's writing it.
It said that he will write and direct.
Okay.
Superman Legacy.
Nice. So this one is they're not doing origin stories again. You know, that's his big thing.
We already know Superman's origin.
He's not doing a Batman origin, he's not doing a Superman origin. Like we've seen that in almost every reboot movie they've done, which is almost every movie they've done. So this will be, you know, he's 10 years in or whatnot. And they said it's going to take place kind of following, I think it's All-Star Superman, where he's struggling with his Kryptonian heritage and humans, and how humans don't really care.
Fucking humans.
Yeah, humans don't really care about kindness and truth, justice, the American way. They're all jaded. And so it's him trying to save...
like real life.
Yeah, it's him trying to save a world and make it better for a world that doesn't really give a shit. A bunch of New Yorkers is what it sounds like. Right? Which is what Metropolis is supposed to be, is New York. So, perfect.
Right.
The other one that I'm excited for that you mentioned is the Lanterns HBO Max series. It's going to be a fucking buddy cop with Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart Green Lanterns. Like, fuck yeah, man.
Yeah, he said they're saying that it's supposed to be like a True Detective-like series, which I don't know if you guys watch True Detectives. Season 1 was fucking brilliant. Like, that was so goddamn.
Season 1 of True Detective was one of the best shows I've watched.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it was... Whew, fuck, dude. That one kicks your ass.
Like,
in a good way.
Yeah. It was... Oh, yeah.
So gritty. I mean, just
Alexandria Daddario. But yeah, so I'm excited for this. So apparently, this is a very, very important show. So I wonder if this show is going to introduce the big bad for their first chapter, right? Because they said that this is a very important and integral part of this entire first chapter, is the Green Lantern show. So we're going to see who the big bad's going to be, probably in that. He'll get introduced, or she. Next is the Authority, which is a kind of boys style superheroes where they do whatever it takes to make the world safe. Bit more violent. That'll be a movie. I believe the Authority is
Supergirl.
Is Wildstorm.
Supergirl is also getting a movie.
Yes. You've got Paradise Lost. Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, which is an adaptation of a comic book series, where she, as how Clark Kent came to Earth and got raised by loving parents, she was stuck on a chunk of Krypton, traveling to Earth, tormented, watching everybody die around her and shit. So going to be a very dramatic show, but we're getting a Supergirl right off the bat, which is fucking cool. So now we can, what it looks like is they're building up the extended families of these, right? You've got, like with the Batman Brave and the Bold, which introduces Damian Wayne. So it's a story of Bruce Wayne and Damian Wayne as Batman and Robin. So we're getting a Robin right off the bat in the first Batman movie. And they're building out, which means if we have that, it means we already have a Jason Todd, Tim Drake, and Dick Grayson. So it means we've already got those others out there, which means we've got a Red Hood, we've got a Nightwing. So we're going to start seeing this whole bigger like Bat family, which we haven't got to see in movies before.
Right.
So I'm excited for that, man. That's fucking cool. Booster Gold. Booster Gold. We're getting a TV show, which I think they said Chris Pratt is being eyed.
I have no idea who that is.
None.
Oh my god, dude. So I'm reading. So Tom Kane is he's like helping with all of this. He's a massive comic book writer. Massive. Jeff Johns, Tom Kane, right up there with Frank Miller and all these guys. Like they write entire series. I'm reading the Tom Kane run of Batman right now. I'm like 70 issues in. Like I've read 70 issues in the last like 2-3 months of his, and fucking great, great story. So he
all of a sudden Nick thinks he knows how to read.
I just look at the pretty pictures.
Hey, did you get into those Ninja Turtle comic books yet?
Not yet.
Oh,
not yet.
All right.
I will here soon. Probably start it tomorrow for my day off.
Sweet. So Booster Gold. Let me tell you who Booster Gold is. So Chris Pratt apparently is getting eyed for the role. I saw stuff mentioning about that. Booster Gold is a guy from the future. I don't remember, like a couple hundred years in the future or some shit. He's a fucking loser. fucking loser. Like, everyone hates him. He's a piece of shit.
Hey, James Gunn, cast me.
And so, but what he does is he finds a time machine, takes his modern tech, comes back to the days of Superman and Batman, uses his technology to pretend to be a superhero, and he's a fucking idiot. So he's really funny in the show because every time he tries to help something, he messes it all up, and he's like, "Booster Gold!" Like it's like Kite Man, like just ridiculous. Paradise Lost, which is a Wonder Woman show, but it takes place before Wonder Woman's born. So this is how Themyscira like gets into that cloud of mystery and all. They mention it like a Game of Thrones style like show with the cities and like why is there no men? The whole story of the Amazons. So that should be pretty cool. And then the last one, which I don't think I'm missing any, but fucking Swamp Thing, dude. Right off the bat, we're getting a Swamp Thing movie, which he says is going to be more horror driven.
Yeah, it's going to be part of the Elseworlds. It's not going to be part of the mainline DCU.
No, he announced it in the DCU.
No, it's going to be Elseworlds.
Did they change it?
It says on here that it won't be a part of the rest of the DCU.
Huh. Yeah, because that's part of the Gods and Monsters of Chapter 1 is there's like a Swamp Thing, Gods and Monsters.
He said that it will feed into the rest of the stories.
Okay.
But the origin story, it's going to be an origin story for Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
But it's not, it's going to be more like a horror film, but it says based on what Gunn said, it won't be part of the rest of the DCU. It'll be part of the Elseworlds.
Huh. Okay. Well, he announced it with all the other DCU announcements. But you know who's a big Swamp Thing fan and who's been posting recently?
Swamp Thing, you make my heart sing.
Groovy.
Guillermo del Toro is a massive Swamp Thing fan.
That would be badass for him to.
And has been buying original Swamp Thing art recently and posting about it on Twitter.
Okay, so he's pretty much going to direct it then.
So I'm like, dude, yeah, he just posted on Twitter like after they made that announcement that like he picked up original artwork for Swamp Thing, and I'm like, what perfect timing! Like, can you imagine like with his cinematography and his eye that he has? How like the colors and the world, because he paints everything he makes is like a painting. Like he just God damn it, what's that? Shape of Water. Fuck, dude, that's
Fish Boy.
Such a gorgeous movie, dude. All the lighting, everything, like the paint on the walls, like everything just looks so fucking good.
The fish, right?
Oh yeah. Just puts a towel along the door and then fills the entire bathroom with water. Yeah, so I'm super fucking excited if he does that. Like, that's legit. And he's always got that little horror style to him, so.
Noise.
Yeah, man. The plan is 2 movies and 2 TV shows a year starting in 2025.
Bonerlicious.
And he's connecting it all. Like you said, you'll have the Joker and Matt Reeves' The Batman also coming out. So that means in 2025 we're going to get a Batman and a Superman movie. And I'm okay with that. And I'm just hoping, which I know it will be, because James Gunn, man, he's pretty on point when it comes to this stuff because he's a massive fan and he's a writer. That's the big thing, right? A lot of these writers are not fans of the material they write, which is why they come out like shit.
Yeah.
He's a fan. And I like that he doesn't really give a shit when people bomb him on Twitter. He doesn't give a shit about any of the other stuff. He's not super woke to that stuff. And here's the big part. And this actually ruffled a lot of feathers and lit up a lot of people. They're complaining right now about him. He mentioned in that statement that the previous regime gave in and allowed executives of the company to make decisions in the movies, and he says that's not happening here. The director will have full control of their artistic. He said, so every movie may look different. The stories will connect, but we are not going to make them, oh, no, you have to do this, or oh, no, you have to.
Other than product placement. You got to get that product placement.
Yeah, there'll be certain key things, right? Because he's got the overseeing arc. I mean, yes, he's got to hold his Batman Visa card or whatever. Fucking, I'll take drive-through, Alfred. Oh,
I guess. All right, hold on. I gotta peek.
Well, okay. Hurry up. Hurry. Look at them Ranger panties. So, I gotta show off some stuff here.
We almost done?
Yeah. Because what?
We're over an hour.
So, shut up.
You shut up.
You shut up.
No, I got to take the truck to Discount Tire. I got a slow leak that just...
Yeah. A few minutes.
I can't get the tire over 14 PSI.
Gotcha. Well, I won't be on next weekend. So we'll either have to reschedule.
Why not?
We'll have to reschedule it. Yeah. So next Sunday. Next Sunday.
I got overtime.
Next Sunday is the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I was just saying I won't be able to record next Sunday because I'll be in San Antonio for a funeral.
Can't you record on your tablet?
No, I tried to do that this morning, remember? As soon as we get 3 people on, fucking freezes and I can't record it.
What's the time frame?
Unless I just... Huh?
Don't you have a laptop or
When's
something?
the funeral?
Oh, I don't know. Jen's got all that stuff.
Yeah, you can go over to Keith's.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Who's going to record it?
Your mom.
I mean, I have a computer here. I have 2 computers.
You know how to record it with my editing software?
But if you're here...
I don't know. Well, either that or I can join Fuck. I'll try to do it without the camera. You know what? We'll test something before I leave. What I'll do is maybe I'll just not have my camera on and I'll just do voice.
Yeah, I'm tired of fucking staring at your ugly face anyway.
Yeah.
And we'll just... I'll see if that helps because maybe it's the multiple... Because what happens is as soon as 3 cameras come on, one of you 2 fuckers freezes. And I think that's because the Discord app can't handle the 3 high definition cameras running. 2 works fine. So maybe what I'll do is I'll just do voice, or I'll come over.
Okay.
I'll come over to Keith's and I'll just be on my tablet or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we can figure something out for
We'll dick around with it, but anyway, real quick before we go,
we gotta give our fans what they want.
Yeah,
people.
Yeah.
Fan.
Check this out. Tell me if the writing is backwards. I think I fixed it, but let's see. I got a few comic books back.
Well, remember, it's backwards for us, but when you post it, it's not.
It's forward? Okay. So it's backwards for me.
You need to mirror yours.
Is it backwards?
Not for me.
No. It's correct.
Oh, yeah. I don't give a shit if it's backwards on mine. I just want to make sure it's good for you. Because before it was good for me and backwards for you. All those comic books I've been showing for the last year.
Yeah.
So I got this back. This is X-Men number 60, 15 center from 1969, and it's the first appearance of Sauron.
Yeah.
Sauron.
Huh.
Yeah.
The Savage Lands.
I got 2 of them. So I bought this book at a Comic-Con, and I didn't realize I already had it.
Now was the one, and that was the one where Charles Xavier could walk. He could walk in the Savage Lands.
Savage Lands. So I got 2 of those back. I got...
Yeah, that wheelchair guy.
Oh, yeah.
Walk. His legs work.
Xavier. Ghost Rider,
Ghost Rider.
number 1 from 1973.
Nice.
Yeah, look at that fucking cover, dude.
That's badass.
Yeah.
Fucking,
That's legit.
Just want to lick it.
Too legit.
I got Amazing Spider-Man number 39 from 1966. This is the first...
The Green Goblins.
Yes, this is the very first John Romita art on Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah.
And
okay. Yeah, hell yeah.
It's also the one where Norman Osborn is revealed as the Green Goblin.
Ooh. Green Goblin these nuts.
I got 2 more. This is a one-shot Godzilla Rivals versus King Ghidorah. This is a Clayton Crane exclusive, and I got his signature. I don't know if you can see that signature, but
oh yeah, I can see it. Yeah,
that rainbow. He uses like 5 different pens to do his signature.
That's badass. That looks cool.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking legit. And then this bad boy.
That's the legit.
This one coming up. I just love the fucking cover.
See it, whip it out, boy.
This is the 25th anniversary.
Tell me how much it inconveniences you.
This is fucker. 25th anniversary New York City Comic Con exclusive of 300, signed by Frank Miller and Jock.
Nice.
Like all of those fucking shields have like little people underneath them and shit. Like you can't see it in the camera.
Yes, it's like a mosaic.
Yeah, dude. Frank Miller's 300.
Nice.
Dude, it's fucking cool.
Righteous.
Frank Miller autograph? Hell yeah. So, those are my latest books. I have more, but I'd have to go dig them out, and we'll do a comic book show, or I'll do a side show where we can just go on and go over comics and stuff.
Yeah.
Go.
I'm just gonna play.
And now we are mature rated.
And demonetized.
Yup.
All right. Anyway, so season 2 of Pop Culture Kick, episode 1. We did it, boys.
The Phantom Menace.
We have achieved it. Mission accomplished.
We'll just say next episode, season 3, episode 1. We'll be like, we went through 2 seasons already.
You guys need to catch up.
All right, you can get.
This is us from the future.
You can catch me on Twitter at PCK_Nickzilla.
You can cash me outside,
Bitch.
All right, I'm Keith at PCK_Keith on Twitter. And that is Mark Becker.
Keith, use your other hand. Point this way, the other way. Yep. That's Mark Becker. On my screen, where everyone sees, that's Mark.
Yeah. Yeah. That's me.
There you go. All right, guys.
Nick is down there. That's Nick down there on my screen.
Nope. Point other corner.
Keith is right there.
Point the other way. There you go. Keith is that. Keith's that way, and I'm down below Keith. Now point down. Point down. That's me.
Gingerly touch tips.
No, Keith, you're going the wrong way. Look, we'll get it right for everybody on my screen. Keith, point to your left. Mark, point to your right. No. Yep. Okay, they're pointing at each other. Now, Keith, point down, and Mark, go down. There. Keith, straight down. That's me. Keith's getting.
He's got his third hand.
Keith's getting fingered out of the back. All right, guys, that's it.
All right,
we're gonna have to do something on like another episode where I hand like you like a coffee mug or something.
Oh,
like
dude!
That.
Mythic Quest did that. So they were like Chip, and they'd pass the chip, and the other person was like, "Thank you." they're all doing a Zoom thing, and then 3 people did it, and by the end of the episode, they had like 40 people on Zoom, and they did this whole whole thing.
Oh, there's the
I have a wand.
She's doing the Leviosa. Swish and flick.
I don't know how to put this.
All right, later, guys.
The greatest trick, kind of a big deal, the devil ever pulled,
Really?
was convincing the world. People know me.
In the name of God, now I know what it feels like to be God.
Jesus wept.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Listen, kid. There are 2 things you don't know about the Earth. One is me, and the other is Godzilla.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Our arrows will blot out the sun.
Then we will fight in the shade.
How dare you say that to my face?
Well, I'd say it behind your back, but my car's only got half a tank again.